Hey, welcome to Santino Sunday Cigar Review. We're here with week one with Illusione Cigars. You got it. We're pairing this Illusione Epernay Serie 2009 with our Weller 107 barrel pick that we picked last year. Stay tuned. Get it.
All right, welcome back everyone to Santino's Sunday Cigar Review. We definitely have a motley crew here today. I'm going to let Mark introduce everyone. Hello everyone in TV land.
Yo, TV land, how's it going, guys? You know me, I'm Mark. We're here week one with Illusione Cigars, having a good time. Like I said, our motley crew. I don't think anyone's going to wear bandanas or lipstick, but we're going to get at it.
Maybe.
We've got Mike Brinker here. Brinker is a good friend of ours, an employee of ours, hangs out here on the weekend. We've got Mark Soifer. You all know him. That's our wine expert. We've got Dave. Dave is Dave. I know your last name. Paul's here. There he is. Yeah, look at him. And of course, Uncle Rob's sitting down there. He's got something stupid to say to you real soon, I promise. So, we're smoking this Illusione 2009 Epernay, the Serie release, the 6x46. Great cigar. Mike's going to give you a little bit of the breakdown on it. Something beautiful about the cigar, like when you look at tobacco and you understand Maduros, and we talk Maduros a lot on the show, you got your Colorado Maduro on here. So when you look at the color of the cigar itself, it doesn't really show you that natural color of Maduro. So, Mike, go ahead, tell them what this thing's made of a little bit.
I got to cheat a little bit here and use my notes this week. We're smoking a Corona Grande in size, and it, like Mark had mentioned, it's a Colorado Maduro, and it's Nicaraguan binder and filler.
Right. It's going to be a great smoke. We've already started smoking into them, getting into this. We're kind of giving you a screenshot of our little outdoor patio. We got the chairs, we got the tables, we got the fun. You can sit outside. Weather sucks a little bit, but we're gonna have some fun with it. So I'm gonna start off with Brinker.
Yes.
How's the cigar going so far, man? Talk about it a little bit.
So far, the light has been great. I'm in about my first 3/4 of an inch. I find the Illusione to be a slow starter all the time personally, but once it gets that sweet spot with it, about right now, it just really opens up and the flavor profile just really hits home with a good scotch or a whiskey.
So what are you tasting so far? The first light on that. I know you took a little deeper cut on yours. You got right below the shoulder on yours.
Right.
So how's it breathing? What do you have? You got a great ash going on. You got some good sulfur going on with the color of the ash. But how's it feeling for you?
It started with a great dry draw, and now it's breathing beautifully. Obviously, like you said, the ash is just perfect.
Right.
Right now, this beautiful Weller 107 Santino's is kind of giving me. I'm getting a little bit of spice on the back end, a little bit of earthiness on the instant draw. That's what I'm getting right now.
Okay, cool. All right, Baxter, where to bounce to you? Let's go, Uncle Rob. What do you got?
This is good stuff, but as far as taste, I've been drinking so much, who knows what I'm tasting.
Uncle Rob, thank you.
Great.
Paul, welcome to the show, man. Glad to have you here. Tell us what you think about the smoke so far.
Glad to be here, but actually, normally Maduro has more of that earthy taste, and I'm getting a smooth, relaxing taste to it. It mixes well with this Weller's.
We're going to come back to the Weller here soon and talk a little bit about pairing a little bit. But Dave, go ahead, man. What are you thinking?
Same thing. I feel like it's very smooth, very even, especially pairing with the Weller. Complements it really well, and it's a great all-around smoke. I can't say anything bad about it.
Right on, man. Mark, go ahead. Talk smoke a little bit.
So, I've had the Weller. Not today, not in this pairing, but I've had the Weller, and I know what to expect from that. This, I had no idea what to expect, and that's actually one of the things that I really appreciate about the way that we do things here, because it's not like I have a secret pad of notes that I've been able to prepare before trying things here. I found out what I was going to be trying right before the camera went on, and I like this. This is not what I would have expected from a Maduro. I mean, I like this a little bit more than I think I would have if it were just a normal Maduro. It's a little unusual. I think it's a little sweeter. I expected it to be kind of a little lighter bodied than what it is because of the color of the wrapper. I thought that it should be darker.
I think I can help you.
Right. Yeah, Mike, go ahead, man.
All right, so I got started a little late. I had technical difficulties. I think what you're trying to say is it's your typical Nicaraguan binder and filler. So you're going to get that rich, full-bodied flavor that you're tasting. Okay, and it'll have the nicotine punch to back it. I think this is where we should ask our resident tobacconist, Mark. Let's dispel a couple of these myths about Maduros. What does Maduro really mean? I think most cigar smokers actually get this wrong.
Right. Maduro means mature. It's a kind of a simple translation a little bit.
Just aged.
It just means age. As a leaf Maduros, it just talks a little bit more about how long the leaf sits in fermentation. Through dry aging, it becomes darker as the oils start to rise to the surface. The chlorophyll starts to leave the leaf, and the sugars start to rise as well. So the darker a leaf gets, the more fermentation time it has, and it Maduros more. It gets older faster.
And the misconception is people think Maduro has to do with strength.
Right. That
Maduro simply is the aging of the wrapper.
Right. That long lost belief that the darker the cigar, the stronger the flavor, or even the strength of the cigar. We can say right now, this is a Colorado Maduro. That is a Maduro leaf, and this thing, especially in this 646. You get a lot more wrapper feel to it. You're getting a lot more of the taste that's coming through on the actual wrapper side. Not as much filler, so it gives you a little more of a quicker combustion, and you get to have a lot more fun with the cigar in itself. So this cigar, looking at it, you would look at this and you would think that it would be, if you're following that mentality of the Maduro of a leaf, you would think this would be a lighter cigar. Well, in all actuality, this is actually a rather strong cigar, and it's got quite the body to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone agree. It's got a lot of balls to it. That's the way we kind of talk tobacco. It's got a lot going on. So talk a little bit about your taste.
Yeah.
You know,
So
see what you think.
it's kind of just like Mike said. After that first half to 3/4 of an inch, that typical Nicaraguan, you're gonna taste the bitters, the ends of that wrapper being burned. And now it is really just, leveled out. It is great. You start to pick up the subtle nuances of it. The draw is almost effortless. Good cigar. And pairing it with the 107. What I liked about this, guys, when we went down to Kentucky at Buffalo Trace and were able to pick this 107 out, I was lucky enough to have a real bourbon nerd with us. My friend Bond Wilkinson, and a lot of people have commented on our selection that a lot of people already commonly refer to Weller 107 as the poor man's Pappy Van Winkle because it's the same mash bill that all the Pappy is made from. But this has got an interesting, with the Nicaraguan cigar, you're getting those robust flavors and things, and that burn. And when I taste this, at the end is that little bit of sweetness that 107 provides, and it just counteracts. I think it works well. I'm satisfied with this cigar and liquor. It's a good pairing.
Yeah, I gotta say, I kind of agree with everyone with the cigar. It starts off real bitter, but I think, like Mike said, Illusione, kind of the allure towards the company itself is all their cigars start off slow. This isn't the kind of cigar that you light up right away and you sit down and you say, yeah, I like it, yeah, I don't. You've got to give it the time to burn. You've got to give it the time to play around a little bit. It's definitely a strong cigar. You feel the strength on the cigar rather quickly, and that's coming from a full smoker all the time. It's got a lot of build to it. Taste-wise, I don't want to sit around and play with any flavor notes. Really, it's got a real down-to-earth kind of taste with it. It's a real dirty Maduro, and what I mean by that is it's got that natural tobacco taste that kind of plays around with it. Real nice smoke. You can see everyone's smoke production. The cigar's burning real well. It's giving off a nice sense of smoke, and the smoke's not hot in your palate. This kind of been a trend with a lot of the cigars we've been smoking lately. A lot of these cigars are not producing a lot of heat with the smoke.
It does not burn hot.
No, not at all. It's
even
real
after
light.
taking a really large draw.
So I want to invite everyone, grab a drink of your Weller, drink this down, then take a smoke of the cigar, push your tongue against the roof of your mouth, and let's talk a little bit about the Weller.
Mark, what's the price point on this cigar?
This cigar sells here at $10. The cigar sells here at $10. The boxes come in, I think they're 50 count boxes, or 42. One of the two. Good sized box. Great cigar. So guys, grab your Weller, take your sip, draw your smoke, push your tongue to the roof of your mouth, and let's talk a little about the Weller. Paul, we're going to start with you, bud.
really smooth. It complements well. Just really relaxing.
Right, enjoying the pairing, right?
Yeah.
Mike, what do you think, man?
I call this the 7-layer dip of a cigar.
Where's the guac?
Right.
Where's the guac?
You got to dig all the way through to the bottom to get everything and let it all mix together. Otherwise, you're just, if you hotbox it or something, you're going to miss out. The biggest part too, something to point out, we're all sitting outside, it's windy and rainy, and these are burning evenly and smoothly. Not every cigar can do that. This is a good outdoor stick, hockey playoff season stick, great baseball stick. I don't mind sitting outside because you're not going to keep relighting this cigar while talking with friends and having some drinks.
And I think that's a great point to dovetail off of Mike's point. Is a lot of people get disappointed with sometimes their favorite cigar because I don't think they smoke it in the right setting. Not every cigar is designed to be a golf cigar, an outdoor cigar. You know, there's some cigars that you never want to smoke after a really good meal. You have to learn how to appropriate when you're going to enjoy this neat hobby. And there's a cigar for everything. There's a cigar for cutting grass.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you feel? Well, you've already said you're well at peace. We're good. You like it. We enjoy it. Everything's burning well, right?
Yeah, this is great. This thing is just mellow and smooth as can be.
All right, Mark, go ahead, man.
Actually, one of the things that I find kind of exciting about this is that this is a little abstract, but when I drink the Weller, which is already in itself pretty strong, if I'm describing it on a wave, it hits high in really intense flavor, and then it kind of mellows out. And I like the back feel on this because it has that sweetness, and I can pick up some of the more subtle characteristics. And the cigar is like that too. When I draw from this, it's actually comparable. So I wouldn't take a puff of this, hold the smoke, and then take a drink of that, because that would be too intense. I would actually numb my taste buds. But what I've been doing is I take a draw on the cigar, I let it mellow out, and then I've been taking a sip of the Weller, and it works out really well.
Good.
Baxter, what do you think, man?
This is one of the more pleasurable experiences I actually have had. The Weller just complements the cigar, okay? This is a very full flavored cigar that is complemented by a full flavored
Bourbon.
drink. And no, I'm just saying that I don't care if it's scotch, I don't care what it is. It's a very full flavored drink versus a full flavored cigar.
Right.
I'm old. Good stuff. Doesn't make you younger.
I agree with you, man.
Doesn't make you younger.
I think the biggest thing for me, I think the pairing is very, very good, just for the simple fact that this does have a lot of flavor in it as a cigar, but the Weller itself, you expect to almost have a little bit more bite. Like the normal Weller is a little bit more smoky.
Yeah.
This, you can get the hint of the vanilla, you can get that little sweetness to it, and with something that's a little bit more earthy, it complements each other. You know, it brings it into the middle. You're in the median the whole time. You're not overpowered. It's just very smooth.
Right.
It's a constant
Mike
smoke.
brought this cigar.
I have to agree that the Weller does really well with the sweetness that sits in on it. And when you're doing pairings, like Rob and I have taught pairings quite a few times on the show. And when it comes to pairing, if there's a good pairing, and it may not just be this cigar, but the notes that come through on the cigar with the sweetness and the for 107 proof bourbon that you're drinking, there really is no rough front end to a bourbon. You know, to this bourbon alone. Bourbon is typically known to be a little hot on the front, smooths out on the back, and you pick up the nuances as you drink it. The 107, especially, like I said, the 107 stands for 107 proof, in case you didn't know. But especially with the barrel pick, you know, choosing the barrel, that may have had something to play into it, may have not. But this liquor in itself treats very well to a full strength, full body cigar, especially when you're playing with something that's got a real neutral palate level in the cigar. So I want to jump right into our try, buy, or deny. We're going to get nuts, and we're going to start with Mike.
Oh, it is definitely a try
They didn't know.
and a buy. Folks, this is whether you forget all about the myths of Maduro. If you think that you don't like a Maduro, remember, only has to do with aging. It has anything to do with strength. This is a great cigar, I think, to try, and it's well within that price range of most affordable cigars.
Without a doubt. I'll jump in on mine. This cigar is definitely a buy. The Weller is a buy. The pairing is phenomenal, especially for something that, you know, I'm a fast smoker, and I think I'm kind of cruising through everyone right now with the cigar.
Live before us.
For being a
Cheated.
for being, you know, for being a what we got, a 46, 48 ring gauge? So this comes in at 46, 48 ring gauge, 48 ring gauge. The cigar is holding its own. It doesn't really matter as fast as I want to smoke it. It's only going to let me smoke it as fast as it wants to.
That is true.
All right, so this cigar is the cigar's a buy, the Weller's a buy, and I'm stupid excited to keep cruising through Illusion in the next 3 weeks. Mike, what do you got? Try, buy, or not?
Definitely a try and buy. And as someone who, I'm trying it with the Weller here, you know, for the pairing situation, but anyone here that knows me knows that I usually don't drink a lot of alcohol with my smokes. So I want to throw in there that a good pairing with this would also be like a good Fitz's cream or orange soda. I wouldn't recommend a root beer personally per se, but something milder that will complement the flavor without overpowering your taste buds.
Baxter, what do you got, man?
Anybody that knows me knows I drink a lot with my pairings. So, bottom line is the Weller's, this cigar, I only hope that the people on Oak Island can find what this is.
It's in the hole. Paul, what you got, bro?
This is definitely a buy. Very smooth, relaxing, and with that Weller's 107, definitely.
All right, Dave, go for it.
I gotta say both are a buy. The cigar is definitely something that you want to try no matter what. Being someone who tries a lot of different cigars, I would really just say it's all about finding something that you like, and this really embodies just a good full-bodied cigar that you can smoke on the regular, and the Weller is by far one of my favorites just because of the notes and the strength.
It's good stuff, right,
Mark,
Dave?
Go ahead, bro.
Very good.
Actually, one of the things I wanted to ask is, does this specific cigar exist in other sizes?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Yeah, the Epernay comes in, I believe, 7 different sizes. It can be bought all the way up to a 664.
Wow.
That's pretty big.
Size
So-
matters.
Well, I mean,
Not right now, it doesn't.
So at this ring gauge, well, I mean, I like it, and I don't know because I'm still learning. I don't know yet what a larger ring gauge has to do with the flavor.
Well, they have to add, unfortunately, with the bigger the ring gauge you get, they add more fillers. So I feel that you move away from the original intention of the cigar, the bigger the diameter gets, because they can't fill it with this. They have to fill it with other tobacco. And that's
So is this the best tester size?
Honestly, on that question, it depends. I have a firm belief that every cigar, when the cigar is made, it's made with a size in mind. Okay, the cigar is tested at a certain size, it's breathed at a certain size, it's smoked at a certain size, it's understood at a certain size when the cigar comes to market. Then you have a consumer demand for, you know, there are a lot of people that don't smoke anything under a 60 ring gauge, and you know they want to smoke this Epernay, or they want to smoke X cigar company, and you know the profile size on the cigar, the market land size on the cigar is a Bellicoso, or it's a Corona Gordo, it's a Corona Larga. It's a different size cigar. They're always going to make that cigar in a larger ring gauge because there are people in the industry that truly enjoy smoking that size cigar.
So a little
And that's
bit.
going to change.
Okay.
As you add more, you take more away. The smaller you get, the more wrapper you enjoy. The bigger you get, the more binder filler you're going to taste. Because you take away from certain aspects of tobacco when you start to add size and you pull size away.
I think the biggest characteristic when you're smoking a cigar is you're tasting the wrapper is more dominant than the binder and filler.
Depends on the size.
Depends on the size, because so when you go to that bigger ring gauge, you're adding more filler tobacco, so it's going to alter the original intent. So I think these cigar manufacturers in general, when they design a cigar, they design it for a specific size, but then they make the other sizes that accommodate what people like. But, you know, just when cigar wins Cigar of the Year, and I take that loosely, okay, especially with Cigar Aficionado.
Shots fired.
But well, it don't mean that bad. It's just
On that note, we drink.
no.
Shovel
It's just
comes out.
that's not bad. It's just sometimes there might be a prearranged agenda, and all cigars are so unique and different. And that's why I'm a firm believer in the smaller ring gauges. I personally think you get the original intent of the cigar maker and roller when you smoke a smaller ring gauge. There's not a lot of extra. But now, I want to make one quick point though about the Weller. Guys, a little tip I've learned from my bourbon friends in the community online. As you know, bourbons are highly allocated. Even some of the most basic, cheapest bourbons are allocated. So for all these consumers that see all this cool stuff that we drink, you got to understand it's always not available to the everyday person. So when you see barrel picks, guys, and what a barrel pick is, all that means is we picked our own barrel, Santino's. And you'll find these at your local stores. These are a gem because this is non-chill filtered. When Buffalo Trace makes this at their distillery, they never release it as non-chill filtered. That can only be achieved when you get a barrel selection. So the tip is for everybody out there that enjoys bourbon and can't find the good stuff, when you see something that's been barrel picked, buy it. It generally tends to be very good.
Mike, the tip is we come to Santino. That's
Well,
the tip.
So,
What?
so I actually, my short answer to that question is that this cigar, as it is, actually, I love it. I want more of it.
Right.
And
I'll sell you a box.
Well, I'll buy a box. But that's why I wanted to ask that question because I wanted to know what happens when you take this and you double the size. I don't know whether I would like it as much.
It's gonna change it exponentially. It really is. You're gonna get different. It's not that the tobacco changes. That you add more of some and more of less, in one way or another in the region of the cigar. So you're going to get a little more of something and a little less of something else. So it's going to drastically change. You take one cigar in 3 different sizes and smoke it, you're not going to get the same thing from every cigar. Things are going to change when you add more. All right. So stay
It just
tuned.
takes away from it. Wrap it up.
That's week 1 with Illusione Cigars. You guys know how this works. Go down there, like, comment, subscribe, leave your comment. If your comment gets the most likes by the viewers of the show, if you're 18 and older and located here in the St. Louis region, come in. We're going to give you this cigar right here, and you might get the chance to join this misfit crew that we seem to have going on right now.
I wouldn't go
So,
there.
guys,
Gosh,
again,
damn.
I want to thank Baxter, Paul, Dave, Mark,
Happy
and
birthday,
Mike.
Baxter.
Thank you.
Happy
birthday, Baxter.
Thank you.
Baxter's birthday episode. And guys, I'm Mark. Mike, sign it off, brother.
I'm Mike.
Cheers.